Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take complex topics and, well, give you the essential insights you need to be really well informed.
And today, we're diving deep, really deep into a pivotal moment in history.
That's right, Siddhartha Gautama's Enlightenment under the Bodhi Tree.
But what's so important to get is that this wasn't some, sudden flash, like flicking a switch.
Whoa.
It unfolded in stages, really distinct, profound stages. People usually call them the 3 watches of the night.
And our mission today really is to unpack that very first watch, that recollection of past lives.
Which sounds incredible, almost unbelievable. And we want to grasp its implications, which were truly earth-shattering.
Yeah, because we're exploring how this vision, this enormous vision of countless past lives, didn't just pop up out of nowhere.
Right.
It actually laid the groundwork, the absolute foundation for the Buddha's entire path to liberation. It's kind of the origin story for his deepest understanding.
Absolutely. That initial insight shaped everything that came after. It provided the vast context for the breakthroughs that followed.
Okay, so let's try and transport ourselves back. Under the Bodhi Tree, Siddhartha had just gone through those intense challenges for Mara.
The personification of temptation, delusion, yeah.
And he'd overcome them. He found his balance, regained strength, and achieved this just incredible mental clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Can you maybe describe the state of meditation he was in? As that first watch of the night began, what was that mental space like?
Well, he was in a state of deep, unwavering concentration. Meditative absorption. It's called samadhi.
Samadhi.
Yeah. Think of a mind that's just utterly free from distractions. Like a perfectly still, clear pool of water reflecting everything without a single ripple.
Wow.
His consciousness became extraordinarily subtle, incredibly receptive, open to dimensions of reality most of us just can't even imagine.
And this wasn't something he was forcing, right? It sounds less like a struggle and more like a natural flowering.
Exactly. A natural consequence of years of meticulous effort, years of practice, and crucially, that wisdom he'd gained from the middle way.
The middle way, right.
So the external world, all the noise, the demands, it just faded. His consciousness expanded, but not outwards. Deeply inwards and backwards through time.
Backwards through time.
Unhindered by the usual limits of memory or how we see time as just one moment after another. This expansion was really the key. It unlocked the door to the vision that was coming.
Okay, so the stage is set. Deep meditation, expanded consciousness.
And as that first watch deepened, Siddhartha gained this specific knowledge. It's called Pobinivassanusatinya.
Pobinivassanusatinya. Bit of a mouthful.
It is. It translates as the knowledge of the recollection of past lives.
Okay.
And what's truly fascinating, almost impossible for us to really wrap our heads around, is the sheer scale of what he saw.
It's not just a vague feeling or a glimpse of maybe 1 or 2 past lives.
Oh, no. He recalled with absolute vividness and clarity innumerable details of his own past existences.
His own.
Yes. His names, his families, his physical forms, his experiences, the whole spectrum, joys, sorrows, everything, stretching back through countless eons.
Not just thousands, millions of lifetimes.
Millions, maybe more. The texts suggest an almost incomprehensible number. It's like trying to recall every single breath you've ever taken, but across all your lives.
That's a powerful way to put it.
And crucially, it wasn't just about him, his own journey.
Ah, okay.
Through this vision, he saw the continuous, unbroken flow of consciousness itself. The intricate web of cause and effect woven through all existence.
That's samsara, right? The cycle of becoming.
Exactly. The endless cycle. He witnessed himself, yes, but also all beings, arising and passing away. In this dizzying array of different forms, different realms, all driven relentlessly by the force of their karma.
It sounds like the ultimate cosmic database download, just flooding his awareness.
Something like that, yeah.
To really comprehend the totality of your own journey, let alone everyone else's, across such an immense stretch of time, that must have been absolutely mind-bending.
Completely. And think about how that would immediately impact your understanding of, well, yourself. What is self?
Right. The idea of a fixed me.
It fundamentally shattered that illusion. The illusion of a singular, unchanging self. He realized that what we think of as me is actually fluid. It's constantly arising, passing away, being shaped and reshaped by past actions, by conditioning. It's not solid.
So this wasn't just philosophy for him anymore. He wasn't just thinking about it.
No, this was direct experience, raw data, you could say.
And it solidified those key Buddhist concepts, didn't it? Impermanence.
Anicca, yes. He saw directly that all forms, all identities, they change, they decay. It's inherent.
And not self.
Anatta. He truly felt in his being that there's no permanent, unchanging core self that travels through all these lives untouched.
Wow. Okay, so impermanence and not self become experiential truths for him.
Exactly. And right alongside that came this profound realization of karma's relentless grip.
How so?
He saw with absolute precision how every single action, every thought, even every word had a direct consequence. How it shaped his future lives, pulling him through this cycle of rebirth again and again and again.
It wasn't random. It was cause and effect playing out over eons.
Precisely. An intricate, inescapable logic.
And this direct seeing, this undeniable experience, that must have really hammered home the reality of dukkha.
Yes, dukkha. Often translated as suffering, but it's broader, isn't it? Unsatisfactoriness, the inherent unease of existence within that cycle.
Because he saw the endless repetition, the cycle of being reborn, aging, getting sick, dying, just over and over.
Over and over, without ultimate escape. The realization wasn't just intellectual, it was visceral. He saw the inherent unsatisfactoriness of being trapped in that cycle, constantly driven by forces, by karma, without true freedom or lasting peace.
He saw that clinging to anything in that impermanent flow just leads to, well, unease, dukkha.
That's the core of it. This constant chasing, constant becoming without end is inherently unsatisfactory.
Okay, so this first watch gives him this vast, comprehensive, deeply personal view of the problem, this huge, endless cycle of existence driven by karma, but it wasn't the end, was it?
No, definitely not the end. As profound as this knowledge was, it wasn't full enlightenment.
Why not? What was missing?
Well, in a way, it showed him the sheer scale of what he still needed to understand and transcend.
Ah, okay. So it defined the problem more clearly than ever before.
Exactly. It became absolutely clear that just knowing about past lives wasn't enough to break free. That wasn't the solution. He now needed to understand why. Why does this cycle keep going? What are its root causes? And the crucial part, how do you stop it? How do you break free?
That's where it gets truly transformative then. This huge insight didn't crush him. It propelled him forward.
Yes. It sharpened his focus intensely. It drove him towards the even deeper insights that were coming in the second and third watches of that night.
Insights into the actual mechanics of suffering and rebirth.
The nuts and bolts of why it all happened. And then ultimately the path to liberation itself.
So you could say this first watch, this recollection of past lives, it was like the grand overview, the establishing shot.
That's a great way to put it. It was the crucial context. It set the stage for the really detailed analysis of cause and effect, and then the ultimate freedom that would follow. It confirmed just how urgent, how absolutely necessary his quest for enlightenment really was.
So the key takeaway from this deep dive into the first watch, it was this incredibly profound journey through countless past lives. It revealed the sheer vastness of samsara, the cycle.
And it deepened the Buddha's resolve, his determination, to find ultimate liberation. Not just for himself, but for all beings caught in that cycle.
It's fascinating that the journey to enlightenment began not just by looking forward, but with this profound, almost terrifying look backward.
Yes, understanding the past, the whole vast scope of it, was essential to understand how to finally move forward and find freedom.
It leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What insights might a deeper understanding of your own journey, your own past and present, reveal about your path toward understanding and maybe even a personal sense of liberation?